All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to He's on Fire podcast, episode 47. I am here chilling tonight with my Rodney Rogers jersey, one of my favorites. If you don't know what happened to Rodney Rogers, former Sixth Man of the Year, he got into an ATV accident quite a few years ago. He's currently paralyzed. He's one of my favorite players. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. One of my favorite role players of all time. Loved Rodney Rogers. So shout out and prayers out to him. A lot of weird things are going on in the world right now. I'm a little disheartened with everything that we're hearing coming out of Ukraine and Russia. And I'm not trying to get political. Just hug your loved ones a little bit closer tonight. And we're really lucky that we get to be coming on here onto a podcast talking about sports while that's not the case for a lot of people in this world. But I'm happy that we're here. I'm happy for the community that we have. And I think we're going to have a very entertaining show for a lot of you because the second half of the NBA season starts tomorrow. It's not really the second half. There's like 24 games left. I think it's something like exactly 30% of the games are left. That means we're scoreboard watching. That means we're having MVP debates. Playoff positioning and games are important every single night. I'm excited to get into it tonight because not only do we have Jay Joyce, not only do we have Suns fan Randy, we've got the one and only Freddie Henderson from ASAP Sports. Thanks for tuning in. He's on Fire podcast. Here we go.
Urkavici sets, loads up, and it is caught! Dylan Strong! Blitz coming, Matthews, Palmer extending the play, crosses the field, Larry Fitzgerald. There he scores, it's over! It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it, alley-oop, oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot, alley-oop, the foot race, they won't get it! Center field, the Diamondbacks are world champions.
Here we go, y'all. Second half of the season. This is what we wanted as Suns fans. This is what we've been waiting for. We want to prove that we are the best. Well, we're going to talk about how they can be the best coming up. I got the one and only Freddie Henderson from ASAP Sports Network in the house tonight. Yes, he's a Lakers fan. I know it's blasphemous to bring a Lakers fan onto this podcast, but this guy actually knows what he's talking about every once in a while. Freddie, how's it going, man?
Man, I'm great. I'm glad to, be on here to join you fellas. You guys have been doing y'all thing every night. You guys go live, so just want to thank you for inviting me on.
Absolutely. Anybody from the ASAP network really has an open invitation here, so we're hoping to bring a lot of people on. As always, we got the man JJ in the house. What's going on?
I'm doing all right. To the listeners, I'm sorry, my voice is still a little raspy. I still have a cold, but I'm still pushing through it all, but I'm feeling good. Second half of the NBA season, as far as I'm concerned, we're 0-0. So let's have Book make a push for an MVP possibly. But we're gonna get into a bunch of stuff. We have Freddie here. Shout out to Freddie. We haven't had him on yet. It's way long overdue, so I'm glad to have him on. And this is gonna be a great show.
Let's get into it. But the last but not least, Suns fan Randy in the house. Check out that shirt, y'all. From the 93 finals. And I was telling him a little bit earlier before.
I just finished LA hat off. Oh,
I just finished episode 6 of The Last Dance, and that was the Charles Barkley and the Suns one, and then he pops in with that, and I love that, man. Randy, what's going on with you in your world, dog?
Going on, man? Nothing much, man. Just living, surviving. It's feeling pretty. I'm actually surprisingly pretty confident, even though CP3 is out. I just feel pretty confident in our positioning. We like up top, you know what I'm saying, and then the Lakers are down below, so it's all good.
We already got some hate from Roy with the Lakers stuff. We got some hate from Fabio coming in with the Lakers stuff.
Dear.
We hate the Lakers, but you know what? That's what makes sports, right? Would college football be the same without the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry? I don't think so, but rivalries are starting to get extinct in the NBA. So let's keep this fuel up a little bit, right? I'm all about the rivalry, but first I had an interesting, not conversation. I was listening to ESPN 700 here in Utah. It's usually not my favorite to listen to because it's Utah sports radio, but they had an interesting conversation today. Can you guys think of any sport where a referee can influence the game more so than basketball? Some people want to say baseball, the strike zone and whatnot. I can kind of agree that. But I feel like in the NBA, the referees want to make themselves known. They want to actually get up in there. And Suns fans, we know this. You guys know it from the last playoff run. You know a few referees' names. You know their names. Other than maybe Angel Hernandez for baseball, the notorious horrible umpire that calls everything a strike, even if it's 10 feet out of the zone. I don't know a lot of referees in other sports. Freddie, I want to start with you, man. Can you think of any other sport where a referee wants to almost impose his will as much as basketball, college included?
Oh man, I'm actually thinking because Scott Foster is a good one because he do have some players out there that he try to go after every once in a while, but man, I really don't know. I think basketball is really the only sport out there if you really think about it because like I said, you do have certain referees who don't put up with certain players who it seems like every game they play they do attack them. So I mean, I don't know. That's actually a good topic for sure.
The only one that I might agree with would be soccer because you got the line judges on the sides, right? But you got one guy calling everything else that's going on inside the pitch. And so that can become very subjective. And I don't want to talk about like diving or gymnastics or anything with judges because that's a sport that's decided on judges and less about like what the athlete actually does. You know what I mean? I wish something else could happen. Oh God, and he's already raising that stuff up. That's Freddie for you.
Yeah,
spread the love. If we had a Super Bowl, we'd be doing the same. Randy, can you think of any other sport like basketball where they impose their will as referees?
I know Scott Foster. I think Tim Donaghy is like another one that's like notable.
Jesus.
But
you remember Joey Crawford?
Yeah, Joey Crawford.
Oh,
I don't know if he was bad or good though. I just know that
he ejected Tim Duncan for laughing on the bench.
That. I watched that clip the other day. That's funny.
And did you guys see the clip yesterday? The other Hurley. I'm blanking on where he coaches. I think it's Indiana. He got thrown out for going like this to the crowd and pumping up the crowd.
Hyping
and
up
the ref
crowd.
tossed him, and that's kind of what prompted the conversation on ESPN 700.
Yeah, but Tim Donaghy. I feel like. Another sport, I would say football, but I just feel like they're all kind of just really inconsistent because realistically in football, there's a flag on every play. So it's like you can kind of throw it. So, but that whole Rams drive at the end, I feel like that kind of like was a little suspect. But if I would have to go, like, not to say bad, I would probably say maybe like UFC. I feel like the refs can sort of like dictate the fight a little bit, but I don't know.
It is UFC. I don't really watch a lot of UFC. I used to watch boxing, and I know boxing is you got the judges on the side; they're the ones scoring it out. Is that the same as UFC?
Not necessarily. They just kind of like just cut fights short, or just sometimes I don't know. It's like they have a lot of missed calls in the UFC too. Like I'm not super locked into it, but I do see from time to time there's a lot of like uproar on just like stopping the fight or just what this fighter was doing. Was he tapping out? Was he, or did he give up? So I feel like outside of maybe basketball, I'll probably go UFC second.
What do you think, JJ?
Randy brought up a good point. Boxing is kind of notorious for awful scores and stuff. I can pick out a bunch of fights in my head. Man, that Canelo Mayweather fight, Triple G and Canelo.
Yeah, he won that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fights where it just the judges alone are just scoring in a different way, and it's not consistent. And with UFC too, they wave off fights a lot, pretty early. A lot of Connor's losses kind of came down to that of just waving off fights, and Khabib too, with the few that he has. But basketball, I can go on a tangent about all the refs that I know just from being a Phoenix Suns fan, dealing with Joey Crawford back in the day. Joey Crawford was funny as hell. Don't get me wrong, but that dude has some personal issues. And then Tim Donaghy, we don't have to get into the whole betting scandal and stuff. We know, like it's been played out. We know how that laid out and stuff. But yeah, just as of late, I like. It seems like NBA refs today kind of make themselves part of the game when they shouldn't be. Adam Silver definitely needs to change something around because with the technical fouls that are just thrown the double text within 2 or 3 seconds, one after another, that isn't enough to I just don't think that's productive and giving a good quality of game to not only to the consumer or for the team as well. So it just seems more now the NBA refs are just kind of on one. NFL refs is give or take. There isn't one that really boggles my mind, but yeah, that last Ram drive, was kind of dumb, but
Well,
Yeah.
you can go back to a few years ago against the Saints too, when
Yeah.
dude hit him before the pass comes. But I don't know if they necessarily interject themselves like the NBA does, because we've already listed off 3 or 4 referees. You probably can't do that in the NFL.
Oh, and another thing, to back up the refs a little bit, the rules when it comes to just reviewing plays and what appropriate moments you have to view a play or have the capability to is so dumb. If you don't know what the call is, just go and review it. Call it what it should be. I remember when she kind of yeah go ahead. Yeah.
Well, anything else there, Freddie?
No, you're absolutely right. And like in football, let's bring the Super Bowl back up. Because my dude Jay brought up a great point. He said about the Rams and the last drive. I really, that was a call, but the referee said, you know what, we missed a call in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter. Bengals, Cincinnati had the ball. That was definitely a grab on Ramsey. That was a wide open touchdown,
for sure. Yeah.
and they didn't call it. So they said, you know what, we're going to make up for it. So that was definitely a great point and a great example.
So there you have it. Referees suck in a hole. So let's get into what matters most on this podcast, and that's our Phoenix Suns. Coming from a Lakers perspective, maybe you can take that hat off a little bit, Freddie, and just give us your 2 cents on what you've seen from the Phoenix Suns, what you think of the Chris Paul injury. I mean, some of the sources that I've actually talked to, that they actually think it might even be 2 or 3 weeks from now, because today's the anniversary of him hurting his thumb, so it's already been 1 week. The 6 to 8 week report probably isn't accurate. It's going to be sooner rather than later. So give us your overall impressions so far and moving forward with our Suns.
Well, looking at the Phoenix Suns, coming off the run they did last year in the postseason, coming up short against the Milwaukee Bucks, but hey, they got there. Nobody had them going there. Congratulations to them. The big question is, okay, we see what you guys did, then, but how are you guys gonna, come back, this season? Was it a fluke? Clearly, they've shown that it was not a fluke. It was definitely, hey, they're definitely the real deal. But the most important thing was the development of Aiden and Bridges. We needed to see if those guys are going to take the next step, and you clearly have seen that. You've seen Bridges not just be a 3-and-D guy, but he can also, use the ball, get in the mid range, create shots for himself and create for others. So they're a great team. But I will tell you about this one thing about Chris Paul injury. However long he's about to be out, we are about to see if Devin Booker have taken the next step. Because we remember
He's on
Devin
fire!
Booker. We remember, okay? But we're going to see if he's ready to say, okay, my road dog is out. It's time for me, to score, but also to make sure others are getting their touches as well. So we're about to see if if Devin Booker can lead, if he can ready to, help them through the stretch to close out the season because it's very, very important that the Phoenix Suns stay, right around that top two, top three seed. Because the Warriors are going to go on a run. So yeah, I'm just very into. My eyes going to be close on Devin Booker, and I'm ready to see if he's ready to take on the challenge.
And I think he is. In the bubble, he averaged 30 and a half points. I think like eight or nine assists and like 6 rebounds. He was on fire there when Chris Paul was out last year in the Western Conference Finals. Devin Booker took over there too. I think we're about to see that, but I also think, and I said this on our last podcast, I think Ayton's about to really break out. Without Chris Paul there, I think just feeding it down low and letting a big man go down low and eat is going to be vital. And
Can
I
ask a
think
question?
Ayton's going to, yeah.
So so we already know Ayton and the Phoenix organization. It was a little bit question mark about the payday. So let's say if I'm just asking, if he comes out there, he don't look as engaged or don't look as flowing through the offense or stuff like that. Without CP3, do you believe it'd be justifiable for you guys to not go out there and pay him big money? Or do you think or he need to have in his mind that, hey, I need to show them that I can do these things without a CP3?
Randy or Jay, you guys want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the way DeAndre Ayton got it set up right now, and just like how he kind of got us in a vice grip in a sense. Like it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, because it's like he's so essential to this group now. So it's like we can't get rid of him because like chemistry in the locker room, I imagine like that would mess up a whole lot of things and kind of divide or like kind of be the beginning of the end. But then it's like I don't feel like completely comfortable giving him the max just because, like I said, he still does have flaws in his game. He still has a lot more development to go. Granted, he does take leaps every year, so I will give him that. But I just feel like he kind of got us in a spot where it's just like you know what I'm saying? We just give him like our lunch money essentially, and we can't really do much about it. So it's just like it is what it is. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. I just like I said, I just feel like I want him to put up the numbers to make me feel good. Like go out there, get 20 and 16 every night or whatever the case may be, and just you know what I'm saying, just average 20 and 12, just so I feel better about giving you that max. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ask from him.
DeAndre Ayton has showed up every time we've needed him.
Sure.
Through the season, dude is up and down. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride with him, which is why we kind of wanted him to prove it. I get it. He killed it in the bubble. He killed it last year in the playoffs. And anytime we needed him to show up the most, he always has, other than the 25 game suspension.
Yeah. I mean, to me, another big thing for him too, or for me, was like last year when he was going up against AD, because bubble AD was just so different. And I thought that was the kind of guy we was going to play against. I was like, if he can guard Anthony Davis in the playoffs, then you give him whatever amount of money he asking for it. Because I thought just for years to come, Anthony Davis was going to be an issue just how he was playing on the bubble. So I was like, if we can have somebody that can kind of like hold his own against Anthony Davis, then you can give him whatever. But
Randy, granted, AD was hurt.
So we're going to do that?
When is he
We're
not
gonna
hurt?
start that?
That was a factor. That was a
Hold on,
factor.
hold on.
We did see him give him 40. We did see him drop 40 last year.
Hold on. Let me ask you something, Freddie. Let me ask you something real quick. I just want to know, what kind of Laker fan are you? Are you a Kobe fan? Are you LeBron? Are you a diehard Laker fan? Are you know what I'm saying? I just want to know what kind of person.
I was trying to say this to the LeBron's part, but okay. Kobe's my favorite player. I love me some Kobe Bean Bryant. I've hated LeBron before he joined the Lakers.
Okay, I can respect that.
So, but me as a Laker fan, I opened my arms to LeBron because Kobe said it was okay. But that's all I'm gonna say until we get into that part.
But the thing with me though, and why I argue with a lot of people from LA about it, is just like back in the day, like it used to really be Kobe or die. And if you said like anybody else outside of Kobe, if you hinted at LeBron, like somebody would almost put hands on you. And so now that you guys have him on his team, so it's just like to me, like I just lose a lot of respect for Laker fans because it's just like where's the honor, where's the morals at? You know what I'm saying? Like when does that come into play?
But you got to think about it, bro. Kobe said it was okay. And then how when Kobe passed, how he embraced the Lakers nation and how he stood up and handled that situation, that really did mean a lot. I will say that, because that's a tough situation to come in Kobe's house to kind of carry his legacy. That's not an easy ask.
Okay, so you on the side of the fence of like I've just accepted LeBron, like he's here, but I'm not really like because a lot of people jump shit.
Randy,
if Evan right here, Coach Evan right here, come on, put on that purple and gold. Guess what? We love him. We love you, bro. We love you.
I mean, fact, if Patrick Beverly was traded to the Suns, if Patrick Beverly was traded to the Suns and he did good in a playoff game, people would be fans of his.
No, I don't think. I think the Suns would have more integrity than that. We don't sign Rajon Rondo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain people. Like, when y'all signed Dwight, I was like, where's the integrity? Where's the morals with this team? Like, the way that y'all shipped that dude and booed him out of here, and it's just like y'all brought him back with open up. It's a little.
I hated CP3. I hated him. I hated watching him. I hated what he did. That's a very good point, Darth. Exactly.
The only thing that matters is you gonna help me win. That's all that matters.
So if we sign Giannis, is that okay?
Hell yeah.
I feel a way about Javon Carter going to Milwaukee.
Come on over.
I feel a way about Javon Carter going to Milwaukee. And it's funny because my fiance is a really big Javon Carter fan. So when he got traded, she was like, I'm going wherever he goes. Like wherever Javon goes, I'm going. So when he was in Brooklyn, she went over there. And then now she went to Milwaukee. So now I'm living in a house divided.
Look, man. If Javon Carter comes out and does something that really hurts us in the finals, then we can have another conversation. Until then, I don't know if he's honestly going to get a lot of minutes behind Drew Holiday and whatnot, but they did trade away Dante DiVincenzo, so there could be that, but he is that long kind of defender guy that they like on the perimeter, so I could see him getting a role, Mr. Two Shoes over there. JJ, do you want to add anything?
Man, I totally forgot where the question was. What was the question?
I don't even remember.
Randy, we can't.
Randy,
I hate Giannis. I hate Giannis now.
Did you see that tweet that about the Javon Carter going to the Bucks? Like Javon is gonna like
coffee black. Like coffee black and semi-pro, he's gonna come back in the middle.
So yeah, I was a little torn. I was a little hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little hurt when I seen Javon Carter. I was like, "What, the Bucks? Out of all of the Bucks?"
That was the question. DA. Okay, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton, he shows up whenever we need him. He's played great against Embiid, Jokic, Giannis for stretches, and just any other big man you can kind of think of. Even Bam, he locked down Bam all last season, and he just had a bad year. But yeah, our problem with DA through his first couple years was his consistency and him just disappearing. I think a lot of that had to do with Booker not finding DA down in the post, and then for the longest time, DA had butterfingers and he just couldn't catch anything. So he's a lot better now. Yeah, he's had a bad stretch of luck this season with rolling his ankle, then COVID, and he had another injury too. And then same thing with campaign. So we haven't seen a ton of these guys this year, but this is a time for DA to find his footing, get a rhythm going, and just get himself into playing shape, because now we're on kind of the easiest half of the season for us. So we only have maybe 4 or 5 games against contenders. We played the Bucks March 6th and Philly in a week or two. So he'll be able to kind of just jump back into his role. So I have full confidence in him, but we were ready to throw him the money after his playoff run last year. And James Jones, there's a reason why he has a job. He's all like, we need consistency, and we need to see you elevate your game, man. and what we've seen from him this season when he's healthy and he's available, like his shot is a lot cleaner. He's been a lot more physical. He's been like strong in the post. He's been better on the short roll. So I think I can speak for all the Suns fans here that that DA has definitely shown improvement, and he is treading in the right direction of a max for sure.
Completely agree, and I think he's going to get paid. I really don't think we have a choice at this
Especially
point,
if it
Freddie.
went,
Yeah. So I want to move on to your beloved Los Angeles Lakers. Coming into the season, obviously everybody thought they were going to be a top team. There was a lot of people that didn't believe so. That age was going to be a factor. Russell Westbrook hitting the back of the rim was going to be a factor, and age and everything, and it's coming to fruition that that's the case. But then we get a bomb dropped on Laker Nation, kind of almost like CP3, the bomb drop with him being out 6 to 8 weeks right before it. But then we hear about LeBron wanting to end his career wherever Bronny is. So that could be with the Nets, that could be with the Heat, that could be that could be the Sonics in 3 years if they get a franchise. We don't know where he's going to end up. So hearing that as just cool. as a fan of a team, not even just the Lakers, you're just a fan of a team, and you will ride or die with whoever's the coach, player, all that stuff. If I were the purple and gold, you'll accept me. You said it earlier. So when a player, especially of LeBron's magnitude, comes out and says that, where's your mind going as a diehard Laker fan?
When you get older, you don't do the little things you used to do when you was younger. You don't play the little childish games or any of that stuff like you used to. LeBron James is in year 19, 37 years old, still playing these damn games like he's a kid. Oh, I want to go here. I want to go there. It is what it is. Listen here. LeBron can, he throws shots at Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, all he wants. He can praise the Rams general manager. He can praise Sam Presti and all those guys he wants to. But LeBron, you got to remember, you're the reason Russell Westbrook is there. Rob Pelinka, he had a deal for Buddy Hield. There was reported that DeMar DeRozan would come for more money. Less money. And if that would have been the case, guess who else would have followed him? Kyle Lowry.
Yep.
But guess who did you want? You wanted Russell Westbrook. You wanted a guy who can't shoot. You wanted a guy who turns the ball over at a high rate. You wanted a guy who plays no defense. You wanted a guy that, to be honest with you, that is just as valuable as Dwight Howard. That brings nothing on the court for this
I got a question for you, Freddie. Just because I feel like, yes, you made a lot of valid points, but I feel like I don't like when Laker fans, y'all try to deflect all the blame on LeBron. Like, y'all have to take some accountability. Because in August, even though, yes, y'all went and got Westbrook and y'all knew who he was when y'all got him, y'all still thought, even with Westbrook, as assembled in August, that y'all were still a championship team. You see what I'm saying?
You know why?
And even though he's not performing, you can't be like, oh, it's all LeBron's fault now. And it's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying it's all LeBron's fault, but it's 70% LeBron's fault.
So it was 30% Laker fans' fault too? Because y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was hyping up Wayne Ellington when y'all got him. Y'all got Avery Bradley.
Let me answer your question, Randy. Let me answer your question first. Like I said before, when you put on that Lakers jersey, Laker fans will give you a chance. We gave Russell Westbrook a chance. We said, okay, well, LeBron, he talked to him, said, okay, Russ, you can't be the same Russ. You can't be the number one Russ. You can't come in here worrying about your numbers anymore. You have to take a seat back. You have to cut more. You had to stop taking jump shots. You had to play defense. You can't turn the ball over. But what happened? He wanted to continue to do the things that he was doing in Oklahoma City when he was by himself, when he was with Kevin Durant. That's why he left his behind. He wanted to still act like he was a number one guy.
But the thing is, y'all knew that in August, and when he was sipping wine with LeBron at his house, and he was like, "Oh, AD gained his baby weight. He gonna program with LeBron, and everything gonna be right, and Westbrook gonna come
Baby
off the
weight.
ball." And then, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, then when you get on the floor, and then it's just like, and it don't work, and y'all act so surprised, and that's the part that's just like, what do you mean?
Well, we're
Like,
not
how?
surprised. It's just that, bro, like I said, once you put that jersey on, we're going to embrace you. We're going to have hope. We're going to believe that the conversations was told in the beginning to get this right.
Okay, but my thing to you is you can acknowledge that a lot of people on the Lakers or Laker players on this team right now, they don't understand the weight that come with the Laker jersey. They don't understand the target every night. Like, that's a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, last year, when a lot of people gave me grief or whatever when we got, because I was throwing it in everybody's face, like in LA, just like we got past the Lakers, and everybody was like, "You celebrating like it's a championship?" And for me, it was a little bit, just because in the sense of, who would have thought a team that hasn't been in playoffs for 10 years would get past a defending champion?
Now,
You know what I'm saying?
Randy, don't do
Go
that,
ahead.
bro. Don't do that, bro.
No. I
mean,
got to.
don't do that, bro. Please don't. Because you mentioned it earlier. Oh, DeAndre Ayton. Whoever thought he guarded Anthony Davis? Wasn't Anthony Davis hurt? Wasn't
Oh my
LeBron
gosh.
James hurt?
Whose fault is
So
that?
let me ask you a question, Randy.
He's heating up.
Ask you a serious question.
Go ahead.
During the season, LeBron missed a game. It was AD playing by himself.
Right.
Didn't Anthony Davis go for 40 and beat y'all by himself?
I wouldn't say he beat him by himself. LeBron
But
was still out there.
But when he was dominating, he was the guy.
Let me come in.
You
got
got to acknowledge the Chris Paul. Go ahead.
No. Answer the question, please.
Hold on.
Is that not the case?
Well, Anthony Davis gave us 40.
For him.
No, I got it. Hold on.
Is that not the case?
Let me ISO on him. I got him past the rock. Yes, Anthony Davis gave us 40. Do I think that it was a good? This Chris Paul was hurt. Yes. Can we acknowledge that Chris Paul was hurt and that we weren't playing the same?
Yeah, he was hurt. And, he was hurt, but you still had Devin Booker.
I mean, yeah, in game
both
one, he gave
hurt.
30 with like a triple double. Was it like
yeah,
a 30
both
or 40
guys
points?
was hurt. LeBron and AD.
So with no Chris Paul or whatever. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just one game, though. It's not like a complete series. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made adjustments, and then we made adjustments to y'all adjustments.
And shoot.
No,
we adjusted to the adjustment. Yeah, JJ. Let's
go. So Evan, you and I are on record going way back to our earlier episodes, and we talked about that same exact Lakers game. Freddie's talking about the one where it was just AD and he went off for 40. We ran no offensive sets. We had no guys in the corner, and it was straight up ISO ball.
We ran everything off of the elbows, and we did not run one single play off an elbow or anything down low. It was a complete sham of a game from the Sun side. They didn't run anything that they run.
Season too.
Yeah, there was like 2 weeks left or something.
I can't go off of you didn't run your offense. I mean,
no. I give you that. I mean, he did that. He gave us 40. He did what he was supposed to do. Anthony Davis, he's one of the top best people in the league, and he got DeAndre Ayton on him. So I feel like yes, he's supposed to do that. I mean, he did what Giannis did. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna stop it right there. This was I love this stuff. I mean, any type of little bickering back and forth, I'm all about, because it's all about ratings and views. But while you guys are here, please subscribe to this podcast. Please subscribe to ASAP Sports Network as well too. Share this link out, and get into the comments. We love having everybody come up here. We love interacting with everybody. Roy, thanks for coming in. Vlogs, John Voida from Suns Jam Session, as always. Please listen to them every post game. Love chopping it up with those boys as well too. Who else do we have in here? We had Lennon Crisp was in here earlier. Anybody else? Yoel was in here. Fabio. We really appreciate you guys coming in and listening. So moving forward, though, last season don't matter because we're on this season and we're on the home stretch for every single team. Moving forward, Freddie, for the Lakers, where you guys are at right now with AD being hurt for 2 to 4 weeks. Ankles are weird, man. No blood flow down there. You don't know how that's going to heal. By the way, Draymond Green is 3 to 4 weeks back. Anybody that knows basketball, which is I hope everybody in this damn podcast right now, they know that Draymond Green is kind of the driving force behind a lot of what the Warriors do. Okay, 3 to 4 weeks back. That means he'll have about 3-ish weeks to get in shape before the playoffs. But for the Lakers specifically, Freddie, what are your realistic possibilities for this team moving forward? Are y'all in the play-in game? Can you make a run getting out of the first round? Talk to me.
Man, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. When AD was healthy, Westbrook and LeBron, and we played really well against the Warriors. We beat the Jazz. I said, you know what? We still have a chance as long as we get there. But AD going down, yeah, this season done, man. I mean, I'm in the opinion. Shut LeBron down for the season. Trade him in the off season. Trade AD. Do a complete rebuild. And the reason why I say that because LeBron, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be in LA, bro. Like
Boom shakalaka!
Not have to be here if you don't want to be here. I mean, this ain't. And this is what people don't understand. This ain't Detroit. This ain't Cleveland. This is LA. It's expectations here. Expectations. And the expectation is to win. And when you not win, you work hard. There's many years, man, where we was bad with Kobe. But guess what? We dived in the season. I mean, Kobe didn't come out there and blast.
Y'all had Smush Parker as a starting point guard, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. So, I mean, and for LeBron to come up here and try to say it's not his fault. It's not his fault. Do you realize we traded our whole young core for you, LeBron?
Mm-hmm.
Even this year, we traded key pieces and draft picks for Russell Westbrook because of who? Because of you, LeBron.
Was it worth it? Y'all got a 2020 ring out of it. Was it worth it?
But they don't care about one ring, bro. We don't care about one ring. I mean, I understand, but one ring, the LeBron James experiment has failed. One ring to show for it? No,
I mean,
bro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like from people I've been talking to in LA, like Laker fans and stuff like that, like it's out now. Like it's after what he said in All-Star break saying that, Cleveland got 3 All-Stars and just all that, and Rich Paul, Clutch Sports is just like, yo, because I feel like a lot of diehard Laker fans are already on edge because, like I was saying earlier, it's like it's always been Kobe or die. So like him kind of like he's always, I guess, like I think he thinks that Laker fans love him more than they actually do. And I feel like I said, it's just like he was just a noun and an adjective away from getting like everybody like, yo, you can go too. Like Westbrook can go, but you can also go too. So
and Anthony Davis right behind him. And Anthony Davis has the skill set, man. He can be a top 5 player. He really do.
Correct.
But this man can't stay healthy. If he lived next to a hospital.
Street clothes. Let me add something real quick. Okay. I'm not Freddie, I'm not going to call you out or anything. I'm not going to say you have clouded judgment or, not remembering, the previous Laker past and history and stuff. But this is a reoccurring thing with the Lakers. They go all in and all of a sudden they don't have assets and then they're bad for like 5 to 9 years. Yeah, this is a championship town. Like you guys have the titles to show for it, but this isn't anything new. Like y'all have had Kareem, Malone, you've had Kobe, you've had Shaq, and you can just go down the list of all of these Hall of Famers that you guys have had, and you guys have gone in Gary Payton, and like there are stretches and of bad basketball. This isn't anything new what LeBron's doing, and LeBron was on record 6-7 years ago saying this was his only goal since he had the rings. Like he said, like his end goal is to play with his son. And with the Lakers taking a older LeBron on his kind of like his last leg, if you want to put it that way, they took the risk of taking him in and getting rid of that young core. At the end of the day, it's Rob Pelinka's fault. At the end of the day, it's Jeannie Buss's fault for taking that risk because a lot of people said they should have just kept Brandon Ingram, kept Lonzo, and kept that young core and just built around that.
And Jay, and that's when
Freddie, don't lie. Don't lie. Go ahead.
Jay, and that's when I disagree with you on that, bro.
Okay.
It's because whenever I don't care what it is. Whenever you have a chance to win the championship, you go all in. You do. Um, so I
Right.
mean, I guarantee you, this offseason, if Phoenix Suns have an opportunity to get LeBron James, to sign LeBron James, guess what? They're going to do it because that strengthens your chance of winning the championship. And you know when
Absolutely.
you when
I,
you
I'm not.
know
I'm not going to argue that.
you
Absolutely,
know
but
when you get
at the end of the
LeBron,
day, it's their decision to pull the trigger or even
yeah,
put the
but
offer on the
But
you know at
table.
the end of the day, if you get LeBron, somebody's going to get traded, and guess who it might be if he comes to the Suns? It might be Bridges. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
it is what it is.
But my thing is, don't run. Let's bring it back to the accountability. So what I'm saying to you is that like Laker fans have to take accountability because one thing I will give y'all is that the GM or the organization actually listens to the fans. You know what I'm
They
saying?
do.
So when
They
y'all was
do.
rallying for LeBron, hold up, when he was in Cleveland and y'all was rallying like, yo, let Bron bought a house in LA and whoop whoop, his wife moved out here. He want to film movies and all this. And when y'all was doing that, y'all knew what came with that. So now y'all got him and y'all got one ring and y'all knew nothing. This is not nothing new. Him not pushing blame off to people and stuff like that. That's not nothing new. So it's just like, are you going to take that accountability and be like, you know what? We did ask for this. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
No, we didn't ask for a guy. We asked for LeBron to come. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
He's
you
here.
did. You put up billboards. I seen Carl Jacob. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Hey, we did the
LA
same
Bron.
thing for LaMarcus Aldridge.
but you got to realize this, bro. You got to realize this. We didn't ask for a guy in year 19 to have commitment issues, call out a front office. We didn't ask for all that. So the thing is with the Lakers, when we feel
That's
like
fair.
and when we feel like that you're throwing turmoil on our name on the Laker brand, that's when the problem comes. Because you got to open your eyes, as in LeBron, and realize that it's not Jeannie Buss' fault. It's not Rob Pelinka's because they had Buddy Hield on the door. They had the trade done. You're the one that brought in Russ. You're the one that said, hey, bring in Russ. And we all know when you don't make LeBron happy, what do? He get
But
ready to go.
and then, like I'm saying, so did we not see that in Cleveland the first time when he got mad at the owner for X, Y, and Z? Did they? Did Pat Riley and LeBron not bump heads before he got up out of there too? And you know what I'm saying. And now, you know what I'm
Back to
saying, we
this comment.
back to this again. So it's just like, or now he's
So yeah. So this is clearly what LeBron does, and obviously this is what was going to happen in LA. And a lot of franchises, Freddie would sign up for one championship, whether you think it's a failure or a success. I think 90% of the franchises would
No,
have
I
taken this
agree.
chance.
And you know what? I think the standard of sports period has dropped. But Sunday night, I got so irritated to see him in a picture with Jerry West, Shaq, Magic, all those guys. I'm talking about Laker legends.
Kareem,
he
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
disrespectful.
like, how is
He
he a Laker
disrespectful.
legend? Somebody tell me how. What has he done? One championship? I mean, the standard has really dropped, man. It really, really
It's
has.
because this championship was the cherry on the top for him.
Yeah.
But
That's
for
what this
him, not
was.
for the
He got y'all a
Lakers.
championship. He tied you guys with the Celtics. Like,
I mean, he's up there because he's the number one scoring in all time. All time,
Yeah.
number one scoring and everything.
Yeah,
That-
but still.
Nah, the Lakers they don't love him like that.
I could see how that would rub Lakers fans the wrong way. I totally could. But I want to go back to your point, Randy, where this is something that the Lakers do. Coming off all the title runs in the 80s, and I think it was 91 or 92 when Magic finally retired. Y'all had a really big gap there for about 4 or 5 seasons where there was nothing. Y'all had Vlade Divac. That's when you had Sed Ceballos, Nick
Yeah.
Van Axel, and them boys. You were still at the Forum at the time. So, like, yeah, you lose that many. You lose Worthy, Magic, Kareem. Like, yeah, this is obviously going to happen.
Yeah.
But then you didn't get lucky with Kobe. Jerry West knew what he was doing with Kobe. That was smart draft picking, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that and trading for him and getting him and all that. But then you traded the house away for Shaquille O'Neal. Dude was pretty much in his prime and the most unguardable player at the time. And now you had Kobe and Shaq, and the rest was history. Shaq leaves. Shaq leaves, and everybody else kind of left with him. You know, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, everybody just kind of left, and it was Kobe and somebody put up in the chat, Chris Mim, Kwame Brown, Adam Morrison, Smush Parker. I mean,
Was
nothing.
Luis Scola on that team too?
Jordan Farmar.
No, Jordan Farmar.
Farmar was cool.
Brown.
Yep.
I remember them
Shannon
days.
Brown.
His
DJ
shot was
Bangles.
Sasha Vujacic, whatever it was.
Vujacic.
But yeah, and then y'all got Lamar Odom, and then you drafted Andrew Bynum, and then you tried to do the Chris Paul trade, which is a whole nother podcast.
No. That's when we got Pau Gasol.
That's when, but you tried to trade for Chris Paul right before, and the NBA ixnayed it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, that there's a whole deep NBA state conspiracy on why that didn't go through. That's another podcast.
They
but then
nobody get number 6. That's why.
Yeah, but then you were able
I mean,
to get
they got
Pau
Paul Gasol for a bag of chips.
for Mark Gasol,
I know,
at the
right?
time,
Bag of
which
chips.
is funny.
Absolute bag of chips.
But then they won. And then everybody, Powell leaves and goes to San Antonio and Chicago, and everything falls apart there. Andrew Bynum doesn't progress the way you thought everybody should have. And then you go out and you get Steve Nash and Dwight Howard. That just didn't work. It just, you had Dwight Howard. You thought he was in his prime still. He was going to do what he was going to do. You had Steve Nash coming in. I mean, you shouldn't have hired Mike D'Antoni. We could have told you that. That's their own problem. But again, but they went all in is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. They went all in, it fell apart, and then they have nothing. And you saw what happened with LeBron right now. So that is something the Lakers have done, which the Suns ain't done that shit. Suns haven't gone out and gotten anybody since Charles Barkley. I'm not hating on what the Lakers do at all.
Yeah, it works. It works.
It's proven its work. Look at the Rams.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say
they're going to be going to shit soon, but you know what? It worked. So I'm not hating the way that it happens. You got to get lucky with draft picks sometimes, and they've been able to hit on some of the biggest draft picks of all time, and don't get that twisted either.
But Evan, I will say this. The Lakers' eye for talent is very there through the draft because we've seen the young talent that came through there. Hell, even an undrafted dude, Austin Reeves, who's a decent player that you pick up that's undrafted. But the thing is, this offseason, Jeannie Buss needs to get back in control of her team. And the thing that I'm afraid of is that the voice is gone. The voice is dead. What I'm afraid of is, I believe Rob Pelinka's voice is dead now. Once Kobe died, I think Rob Pelinka's voice died. I believe Kobe was doing a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't know. Because Kobe was a guy, he's different from LeBron. LeBron wants you to see what he do. Kobe was a guy that worked behind doors and make moves. Like, people don't realize, like, a lot of people, like, Kobe did a lot of things for the community out there in LA that wasn't advertised like it is, for LeBron. Because Kobe was the type of guy, he's going to do things. He don't want the attention and all that. I believe, we gotta remember when Jeannie fired her brother, who did she go to? Went to Kobe. Hey, so Kobe was kind of the one that was behind, say, hey, do this, do that, do this. And now that he's not there, I don't know where Jeannie go to now at this point.
I mean, I have a question for you. Who was a better GM, Rob Pelinka or Magic? Only reason I say that is because I feel like at least Magic, he would get fined with a bunch of like tampering and stuff like that, but at least he was like forthcoming with information. Or like he was like, this is who we're trying to get. This is who we're trying to get. And Rob Pelinka is just like, I don't know. So in your opinion, who do you think is the better GM, Magic? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like, would you rather have somebody behind the scenes or would you rather have somebody that's gonna get hit with that tampering? Yeah.
I want Jeannie Buss to go out there and get somebody, nobody Laker related. Don't go get no Laker. Get somebody. The problem I had with Magic is Magic. I'm not gonna say he was garbage because he did. He brought some good players. He got LeBron there. I believe he would have had the AD deal done. If he would have stayed. I mean, it would have been done. Mm-hmm. Actually, the deal reported that was less. They didn't have to give up somebody in that trade when he was there, but they ended up having to give him rid of because when Rob Pelinka came. So the only problem I had with Magic was not willing to commit to just the Lakers. He had other businesses, which he shouldn't because he do have other businesses. But in order to run the position for the Lakers, he needs to be there every day. And that was the problem. He couldn't commit to being there.
I agree with that
every day. So Jeannie Buss, she need to cut out Linda Ramdes, Kurt Ramsey. They need to go. I didn't even know where the hell they came in from. They just like poof, just magically there. She need to get back doing things the way her dad used to do things. Run the business. Hey, do it your way. Do it the way that you feel best. You don't need all these and she need to get right with Jerry West. You need to sit down this
Man, what did y'all do with that man? Why y'all cut that man tickets out? That was messed
I don't
up.
know what the
God.
beef is or what the situation is, but this offseason she needs to sit down and say, hey, we need to save my daddy's franchise. We need you to come over here. I mean, it's only right. Jerry West, you're a Laker. You see, you're not doing anything with the Clippers. The Clippers ain't going nowhere. The Clippers ain't never gonna go nowhere. So you need to come back to the purple and gold.
Basement dwellers.
You need to get that situation right. And the first move is you need to trade LeBron. No, I put that number 2 because Russ need to be traded number 1, then LeBron.
So the Lakers are in shambles right now, but we all know that they're going to come back. It's LA. People want to go to LA because it's LA.
Y'all are going to get another chip. So
if the Lakers were in Kansas City, they wouldn't be the Lakers. It would be whoever's in LA would be top dog. So it's LA, and the Clippers just are never going to catch up, no matter how hard the Clippers try. It's funny. It's funny to watch that from an outside perspective. It's funny to watch that. So the Suns are on the rise right now. We're going up and up. Hopefully everything can happen, but there's a lot more that's gone on in the NBA this year. Freddie, what has caught your eye around the league? Let's start in the Western Conference side of things, since that's where we're at. What has caught your eye? What are you looking forward to? Any specific playoff matchups you want to see? Just go off a little bit here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Memphis Grizzlies are for real.
Ooh.
Ja Morant is that dude. Y'all better keep. Hey, this dude right here have a little mixture of Allen Iverson, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose in him. Hey, but he can shoot though. Westbrook can shoot.
Boom shakalaka!
Here is the real deal. And this team, man, they loaded from top to bottom. I mean, they really are. They play defense. They hustle. They just like that grit and grind team. Hey, they're ready for it. So I'm looking for them a rematch, maybe against the Warriors. I know Suns fans would definitely love that because could you imagine if the Grizzlies could beat the Golden State Warriors or even just tire them out where they're just exhausted? Because hey, it's not going to be an easy series between them two. But I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup in the West myself personally.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see that. I'm curious to see who can come out of the first round just all together. I think we're about to see the Jazz and the Mavericks face off in the first round too. Don't like either team. In fact, I hate both teams. I think that's going to be an intriguing as hell matchup. So I want to see the Jazz and Mavericks. We're probably not going to see Jamal Murray back. All the Denver Nuggets fans out there.
I did see something that he might come at the end of March. I did see today, actually. Yeah.
Him and Markelle Fultz.
Markelle
Fultz going to be coming back
too
next
late in
week.
the season.
You mean MPJ or Markelle Fultz?
Fultz.
No,
you mean
MPJ is not coming back.
I mean, I've been seeing more positive stuff about MPJ. So if that's the case, let's pretend Jamal Murray comes back. He can't be anywhere near what he was. But if he's
playoff time,
if he's 80% of himself, I mean, that Nuggets and Grizzlies matchup is all of a sudden really interesting, I gotta say. I mean, but full health Denver Nuggets with MPJ and Jamal Murray and Memphis in the first round, that's a hell of a matchup. Don't get that twisted. That's a hell of a matchup. And then I do want to see who's going to come out of the play-in between the T-Wolves, Clippers, Lakers, and Blazers. I mean, I don't think anybody think the Blazers are going to come out, especially with Nurkic being out now. I honestly thought the Pelicans were going to make just a little bit of a run to try to sneak up past Portland. I don't think it matters who the hell's going to get that 10 seed, to be honest with everybody. But I'm curious to see who the Timberwolves take on. Timberwolves and Warriors in the first round? That's going to be a crazy. Who's stopping Cat on the Warriors? Y'all really going to put Draymond Green
on his way back? They did say in March.
No,
Wiseman's not that good. Wiseman's not that
and
good,
he
so.
hadn't. He's not going to be back either. You're going to ask him to guard Cat.
Yeah, nah.
So the
healthy Cat.
Golden State Warriors path, they have the hardest path right now. Even if they're at the 2 seed, they would have to go through right now, presumably the T-Wolves. Then you have to go through the Grizzlies. Then you got to go through the Suns. Just in theory.
Yeah.
That Warriors have a hell of a time. Over on the Eastern Conference, Freddie, what stuck out to you so far?
Man, oh man.
Other than the Knicks sucking it so hard this year.
And Atlanta.
Oh, man, the Kyrie Irving won't get the shot. I mean,
Did you see?
Now I will say
it came out today that they're loosening the restrictions.
Now that could be interesting because I don't know if people realize how deep this Brooklyn Nets team is now. Yes, they got rid of a guy in James Harden.
Let me see.
But man,
let me make sure.
Brooklyn got Patty Mills, Dragic, Joe Harris. If he come back, they talking about a second surgery.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin. You got Ben Simmons. Whatever mental shape he's in or whatever, but that team's loaded. That team could be scary in the West. I mean, man, hey, can we say that the playoffs might be better on the Eastern Conference this year than the West?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now we got the Bulls playing good.
I'm going to pull up the standings right now while you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this year we could say the East, like you can't sleep on that Cavs team because they are a team that have nothing to lose. They are a young team. They play defense. They have an identity. They have a great coach. I mean, just to get blown up by LeBron yet again.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs definitely took me by surprise. Like, I definitely didn't see Evan Mobley coming out of USC doing what he was doing. I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't see it. I was just like, nah. And now he might be looking at that Rookie of the Year with,
we
real serious possibility.
We got a question from Fabio real quick. Actually, what are your thoughts on Vogel?
How did we not talk about Vogel?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. First, I wanted him fired during the season, starting the season, but Vogel's not the problem. We've seen when David Fizdale stepped in, and they were still losing games. I mean, the roster is not constructed right where they can, fit a defensive scheme. So I'm not putting too much blame on Vogel. He's a championship head coach. He'll probably get fired because every team needs a scapegoat, and he'll probably be the scapegoat though.
I like this guy, man.
I told you he's a Lakers fan, but he happens to know what he's talking about every once in a while. But even a broken clock is right twice a day, so who the hell knows, right? For a solar panel, shoot, Darth, I am always available to come on the solar panel. I'll wake up early with a cup of coffee. That's my sleep-in day too. My sleep-in day is Saturdays. My wife knows that, so I'll definitely come on with y'all. I'd love to. Other in the Eastern Conference, I mean, the Heat look nasty. If they got everybody coming up, the Heat look so much better than I thought they would. The Bulls, when they get everybody back, they're going to look nasty. What is James Harden and Embiid going to look like? We already talked about Cavaliers. I think whoever the Cavs play between Milwaukee, Philly, Chicago, kind of whatever that cluster is, I think the Cavs are going to be out in the first round. I think it's a nice story. You might win a game or two, but I don't think they can make it past these dudes. But then everything below the Bucks, except for the Knicks, is disappointing. I had higher expectations for Jason Tatum and Brown over there. I really did. Darth is going to light me up. I like what Jason Tatum does, and I do like Brown. But 34 and 26, I thought they would be a little bit better. The Raptors,
Laker, Jason Tatum,
future Laker. The Raptors are actually. What's that?
I said, don't start it. He recruiting Jason Tatum now. When he get him, and he not,
he almost went to Phoenix. I think
don't deflect and be like, oh, Jason Tatum is.
Jason Tatum's a future Maverick. What are you guys talking about?
I can actually see that. I go, wait, he's not European. Never mind.
The Raptors, I thought were going to be a little bit better with Dragic coming in and Siakam and FVV, but you know what? 32 and 25, that's respectable. We know about the Nets, the really Hornets. Is. The Hornets have been.
Yeah.
I thought they had a great season last year. They've been disappointing. The Hawks have been god-awful. The Wizards have been god-awful, kind of expected. I thought the Pacers were going to be good coming in this season when they had Karis LeVert and everything and all them dudes. I thought they were going to be good. Brogdon, but they blew up. Anything else in the East that's really sticking out to you or a matchup that you want to see, Freddie?
In the East, I say Cleveland. No, I'm gonna say Miami and Chicago. I want to see that. I really do. I want to see,
That'll be a great
what
series.
can the young Chicago Bulls? How can they take the pressure, the defense from the Dogs in Miami? I really wouldn't. That'd be interesting.
Hell yeah. JJ, Randy, and anything on the Eastern Conference you guys want to touch on? Because that's we kind of don't touch on that enough on this podcast, I feel like.
Yeah, like definitely. I think the Eastern playoffs are going to be the most
Nasty.
like the better games for sure. I'm just keeping my eye out on DeRozan. Like he's having an incredible year. He's breaking Will Chamberlain records, which is kind of unheard of nowadays. He's my MVP vote right now, and I said that a couple weeks ago as well. And I'm sticking with it. He's playing great. As soon as Caruso comes back, that team is going to be back to where they were at the beginning of the season of just solely outscoring teams. Playing subpar defense, but doing enough to get by and win some games. But we'll see what this team is all about in the playoffs. But yeah, you're right about the Cavs. I think this is a great story. I think they might be a piece or two away from having a very good established team. I think they might shop out Colin Sexton in the next year or two because I think this team is a lot better without Sexton. But this East is just crazy. The Bucks, they're going through some difficulties right now as well, and now the Suns have to, smooth out the edges and stuff with Chris
overcome
Paul
the
being
adversity.
out. Yeah, so like this season is like the last 2-3 years. It's been nice because it's really anybody's game. It's wide open for anybody that takes advantage and that is healthy and just has a good mindset going in. So I'm really looking forward to this year's playoffs.
Yeah, I got my eye on a team that's I think it might be in the play-in right now, but I feel like his teams are typically more second half teams. But the Hawks, Trae Young, I think Nate McMillan's whatever. I don't know what kind of coaching situation, but his teams always get better in the second half of the season. I don't know why, but I'm definitely excited to see what they do. I think that. I feel like they're just a very dangerous team in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Trae Young, even though a lot of people don't like him, I feel like he's kind of the younger Chris Paul, in the sense of everybody hates him, but I imagine Hawk fans love him that he draws fouls and whatever the case may be and just knows the game.
Can't compare him to Steph Curry no matter that 3-point contest. Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely got my eye on the Hawks to see what they're gonna do. But to switch it back over to the West, I feel like Suns fans, we should prepare for another season of people just giving us another asterisk on the West Coast. Because I feel like, yes, our biggest threat is Golden State, but realistically, Draymond got a bad back. Klay Thompson got a bad ankle and bad knees. You know what I'm saying? And then Wiseman is coming back. So I feel like that's a lot of excuses that we're not hearing them now, but definitely if we do meet up.
Gave you an asterisk about getting Russ Westbrook.
No, we appreciate it. Let us have our run, please.
Let us have one. Let us have one.
Just one.
Last question, Freddie, before we get out of here, and this is very important. Jay, you already know what I'm going to ask. Who is the overall GOAT in NBA history? Is it MJ? Is it Bron? Is it Kobe for you, or somebody else? Who do you got?
LeBron's not even top 3.
Oh, dang.
No, we can't.
That's disrespectful,
bro.
He's not even,
we can't talk basketball, bro. Are you serious?
He's not even top 4.
Where do you rank Kobe?
Number 2.
Oh my.
Got to be number 2, man. You talking about a guy, and just listen to this, y'all.
I like this guy, man. I like this.
We always try to. There's been many players that have tried to be like MJ. That's not LeBron. Kobe talked like MJ, dressed like him, chew his gum. I mean, you get basketball clips and you put them side by side.
Yep.
Put them on the same jersey. You gonna think they're the same guy. I mean, you gotta think. So Jordan's is the GOAT. Kobe number 2, and Kareem, bro. Kareem don't get the love that he deserves. If it wasn't no such thing as a Jordan brand of the shoes, people would have Kareem number one. Just think about what he did in college, on the college level of things. Just think he came in the league and just dominated, won one with Oscar Robinson, then come to the Showtime Lakers and do what he did, score the many. Like, just think about it. He's still number one. LeBron ain't passed him yet. Still number one as a center of the most leading scorer. Like, you know how many scores that we've had come through the NBA? I mean, just think about had the most unstoppable shot in NBA history. He got to be number three. Number four is the greatest. I mean, the greatest. And I know y'all call Chris Paul the point guard, which irritates the hell out of me. The greatest point guard to touch God's green earth. And Irvin Magic Johnson. You talking about a guy that came in as a rookie who would play center on defense and a point guard on offense. And Darth, however you say your name, I'm sorry, but I'm like Matt Barnes. I'm like Jason Tatum. Whoever don't have Kobe in their top five don't know basketball. I'm sorry. Hey.
Hey, I respect the taste. Anybody that has the balls to get on a podcast and put their own personal takes out there, I respect it. I will forever. Jordan will always be my one. Randy, I think, aren't you the same? Do you put Jordan as your number one?
Yeah, Jordan number one.
There we go. JJ down there, who's your number one?
LeBron, and Kobe is probably ranked barely in 10.
You guys have
There's a liability on defense. He has the most missed shots ever. He only has, I think, about 15 games over 50% in the playoffs, while LeBron has 25.
Rejected.
I think it's time that we, Evan, the network, we just implemented the rule. It's a drug test to join the network. So with having Jay on here that does disqualify, he's on fire. So we got to get that taken care of because
you got to lose some shares because you don't have LeBron in your top three.
I just think Kobe? That's blasphemy to say that Kobe being Bryant is barely on your top 10 list. Sir, no, bro. You must be smoking something.
I mean, but you did throw four Lakers.
In my
you
top
did
10.
throw
I'm
four
saying
Lakers
he's barely
out.
in.
Well, I mean, hell, it's hard. It's hard not to, bro. I mean, you're talking about.
I see it. I don't know about. I will give Kobe number 2 just because I feel like just the fourth quarter, like just off of the things that he could do. Like, yes, like you, Jay said, like I used to say that all the time, like he was just inefficient, but put that man in the fourth quarter and he'll get it done.
Are we calling 40% inefficiency? I think what we've done, we've forgotten about this. This is a whole nother era of basketball, bro. We got to remember Kobe was a shooting guard. Go look at most shooting guards in his era. Go look at their percentages. He's right around the others. Got to remember, he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. You got to remember, you'll never see nobody shoot like Steph Curry. Klay Thompson. It's a different era. So, I mean, his percentages in his era was average around his era.
I think T-Mac might only be above him in shooting guards and potentially Ray Allen behind the stripe.
And then you know what? People want to say he's selfish, but he is on the number 2 list of assists for shooting guards, right behind Clyde Drexler, by the way.
Okay, last question for me, and then we're gonna get out of here because this was a lot of fun, Freddie. Thank you so much for coming on. But what the hell was Anthony Davis doing on the top 75 of all time? What the hell?
And Dwight didn't get in?
I'd take Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace over their careers over what Anthony Davis has done.
Would you take Anthony Davis? So you're taking Dwight Howard over Anthony Davis? I mean,
right now, today? Yeah.
Have Dwight Howard
today too.
Led a team to a championship?
Yeah, he led a team. Yeah, y'all beat him in the final. You remember in 08?
I'm taking Rasheed Wallace over both
them. You didn't say did he win. You just said did he lead. He led. He could lead him in water. He can't make him drink.
No, he did not.
Who was on that Magic team? JJ Redick was like
Rafer Alston.
You had
Rafer Alston, and he got
Nelson.
Jameer Nelson.
Rashard Lewis.
Almost nobody's in the league still.
Brandon Bass.
That Orlando team was the best
Michael Petrus?
team
You
to
got
come
Michael
from
Petrus
the
trying to guard
East in
Kobe?
like 5, 6
But still,
years.
bro, they lost.
Yeah, they
AD
got
won.
swept.
AD was a big factor why they won.
Again, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace over AD.
You have a great point, but I still look at a guy like Dame. I'm not putting Dame over. I mean, you can take.
I'll
Dame.
take Yao Ming over Anthony Davis.
All right, you
Yeah,
guys. This clearly have gotten too
Yeah.
late. Evan drug tested in the morning. Send it to the email.
It's after
Man.
hours, man.
Everyone text you and Jay in the morning, please. Randy, don't you mess it up. You'll be on the list too.
I'll tweet you some stats a little later.
Hey, real quick, this is a hell of a stat. I lived in Michigan for years. My family's from Michigan and got a lot of
That's
Pistons
wild.
fans. It is crazy that the 04 Pistons are the only championship team without a top 75 player. That is an absolutely
because we know why they won.
Ridiculous stat.
Don't act like we don't know why they won, Evan.
What you mean?
We seen the greatest meltdown from the two superstars and Kobe and Shaq. They melt like it was. You could see it on the court that them two was ready to blow down. Like they were.
Yeah.
Who would have won? I put money on Kobe. He probably would have found a way to win. He would have found
against that defense, not against that defense.
No. I'm talking about against him and Shaq. If they would have got to
find,
they would have found a way to. He would have found a way to win.
Yeah, Freddie, tell everybody, tell all of our listeners where they can find you and your content that you put out.
Hey, everybody, just tune into the All Sports All Plays Network, doing really big things.
Yes.
Just check us out on all major platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Apple TV,
Roku,
Roku, Tiki Live, all those great things. You can catch He's on Fire on there as well. So just check us out, follow us, share us, do all those good things.
Freddie's been doing a lot of big things behind the scenes, so we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. We are on the eve of Phoenix Suns basketball returning. Tomorrow night is a big game. Don't get it twisted. We have to win tomorrow night's game against OKC. If we lose, it'll be bad taste in our mouth. He's on Fire Podcast. We'll be back Sunday.
See you guys.
And it is down strong. Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. He scores. It's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line.
Crowder looking, throws it alley-oop. Oh! Puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly.